Welcome back, and thank you for joining us for more True Blood. Are you a Fang Banger or what? Let's get into it.
I'm always a Fang Banger. Always.
Yes.
So speaking of Fang Banging, our favorite character has got to be Lafayette. So today we're gonna start with Lafayette. Like we know, the whole episode, revolves around Bill and Sookie. But we're talking about Lafayette today. So hell yeah.
For me, it's gonna be Lafayette for breakfast, Lafayette for a snack, Lafayette for lunch, Lafayette for a post snack, post lunch, dinner, all of the things. Okay, because when I say can read from Genesis to Revelation and every book in between, okay, it's gonna be Lafayette for me.
Okay, all right, all right. So what were some of his best moments?
Oh my goodness. So first of all, him and Tara's dynamic. My God, it's just so beautiful to watch. It's beautiful. For me, whenever she comes in on 15, flipping out behind her Jason Stackhouse, having to have his Peter Whacker drained
Twice.
Twice. Because he took the drug V the wrong way. So she comes in and she is into Lafayette's house, mind you, throwing his stuff from his shrine at him. He gets up and he like, okay, basically. And she was like, stupid. She called him all out his name while tossing things. He just gets to bed. Like, okay, come on, hook. I was all city parish in high school. So whatever you throw at me, okay. Whatever. So instead of, trying to fight her back or anything, he grabs a bat. Like, okay, this is what we doing. This is what we doing at 3:00 in the morning. Cool. So she's expressing her grievances as you will, but Lafayette, with how his mindset is, don't blame the Ferrari if you don't know how to drive. Okay. So for me, that's law, as they say. Well, that's a mantra, really. Who blame the Ferrari if you can't drive? I gave it to him. I gave him explicit instruction, and he chose to do the Jason Stackhouse stupid thing that he wanted to do.
It was stupid.
So, Lafayette's like, oh, you're really pressed behind your little Jason Stackhouse or whatever. But what was so beautiful about it, even in all of that, he was like, why are you coming here throwing my things? And she's like, because it makes me feel better. He was like, well, okay, that's fine, basically. But I'll go up and check on him tomorrow. Like, even after all of that, he's breaking yourself.
What was beautiful was he said, are you mad because I'm still selling it? Or because I sold it to your precious Jason?
To your precious Jason. So, because she's fussing at him, she's in mommy mode, she's in war mode, she's in girlfriend mode, she's all of these things at one time. So she's like, you want to get yourself killed? You dealing V-nail? Like, what is wrong with you? Okay, so is this about Jason or is this about me?
I love how you got that Tara accent. I love it. You got it.
Oh, yes. Tara got a real thick accent. Oh, yes. So I just loved it. To me, it was so authentic. Like, oh my goodness. Mm-hmm. I'm mad as hell at you. I'm letting you know I'm mad. You're accepting. And even though you got your little quips with you, you still like, well, okay, I still hear you. I still feel you. So even in this moment, you breaking my stuff, I still love you. I didn't put you out. To me, that was just beautiful. To me, that seems like something I would do. I'd be so mad, but at the same time, I still care for you. So I'm gonna let you have your moment.
But you know what? It also sounds or seemed like it was something that she did on the regular. Like it wasn't, he wasn't surprised by it,
Yes. So for me, that was like an amazing scene. Like these family members quarreling, the brother and sister, they're fighting, but there's still so much love there. Mm-hmm. And I just absolutely adore that about how Lafayette really is a safe haven. Sookie is a main character. However, Lafayette is very vital, very paramount in Tara's life. So I love that. I absolutely love that because at least as far as I remember, I don't remember a father figure in Tara's life really on this show. Not that I remember.
No, I'm like, were there any fathers on this show?
This is true. Look, this is true. So none of that. So you have Lafayette, friend, father, all the things. So I thought that was just absolutely beautiful.
We've got questions and we know you have answers. So make love to our senses in the comments. Drop them down below.
What about you? Anything specific that stood out with Lafayette?
There's too many. There's too many. And I took my notes. I just don't remember on what page it was. But Arlene came up to him, and I do know that this is a scene that you really, really love. But this was one that really stood out for me. Arlene came up to him, and she was just like expressing her, I don't know, her not anger, but her frustration with these rednecks.
Oh my!
And he asked her, what's the deal? She basically said, they don't want what was it, soup or it was burgers. Yes. They don't want the AIDS burgers.
And she's like, oh my, Lafayette, well, don't say anything. If nothing else I can mock. But he's like, no, who, well, what? Oh my. So
he went up to the table. I mean, there was a lot that happened. But he took that burger, he took the bun of the burger, licked it. You see him licking it. Basically saying, I'm taking the AIDS off. Then put it back on and said, eat it.
And you're gonna eat it the way that I fix it. So, typically, when the chef or whatever comes out to your table, they're looking to make things right. And he was absolutely looking to make things right. So, you have these pseudo, and I do mean pseudo because they're probably getting bussed down in the parking lot by each other, pseudo homophobes, that are saying, hey, I'm going to take this opportunity because this man is different. And pseudo, because they do the gayest stuff ever, but you want to be a homophobe, which I don't understand.
Yeah.
But okay, you get sloppy toppy from men. I know you do, but that's fine. So you don't take this opportunity to ostracize Lafayette. Oh, but you thought because he was pretty and prissy that he didn't have another side.
No, they simply thought he was, just because he's gay, he's not going to respond in the way in which he did.
Oh my! And when I say read them for pure filth from the scrolls, the lost scrolls, everything, and beat them down.
That's the part I was waiting to get to.
I was like,
1 against 3.
And you're going to eat it the way that I like it. And then tip your waitress. That's what did it for me. Before he exit stage left, tip your waitress. After he done beat him up, read him out, all of these things, I was like, I am in love.
And you know what? Just an aside, most of these episodes, at most, you see 5 minutes of Lafayette. But he kills every scene. Every scene, he's killing it.
Yes, and yes. For me, he made the show in so many ways. He really, really did. Like, oh my goodness, it's like you can't get enough of him. You can't. Like, just give me 5 minutes with Lafayette.
You know what? This was not a Lafayette scene. Something else that came to mind. This was when Suki's grandmother died. Everybody was at her house. She was frustrated. She told him something. I forgot what it was. And and Tara was like, "Okay, I'm going to take you upstairs." No, she said the girls are going to go upstairs. And Tara said, "Come on, Lafayette."
Look, clearly, he is the epitome. Hey, we can be it all. Okay, which version of me do you want? Do you want the softer side of Sears, or do you want that ignorant, rugged? I can be it all. And I just love that because Lafayette is serving muscles. He got his hair wrapped up, eyeliner, eyeshadow on, and still is all man at the same time.
100%.
Please don't run us home. Don't run us home. So
that's all. And every last one of his fingers were painted. I never noticed that. In all these years, I've never noticed that. I saw it with that particular episode. Never noticed.
And now it's trendy.
That was trendy then?
No, I said now.
Now it's now. Mm-hmm.
So he just, to me, that character, oh my gosh. I don't think you could have written that character up that way. You had an idea of what you wanted Lafayette to be, in my opinion. And Nelsan Ellis killed it on a whole nother level. He literally gave that character life. Like, my goodness. Mm-hmm. Oh, my goodness.
And there's something to be said after all these years. It's like nearly 15 years since it first came out, right?
Yeah.
Or longer. And he's still someone that we talk about.
Yeah.
That's saying a lot.
It's immortal. He's absolutely immortal. Definitely gone from this earth too soon. Mm-hmm. But oh my God, the respect that I have for the work. Oh my. Mm-hmm. Oh my. But yes, Lafayette, baby, Lafayette. I can't wait.
Any more Lafayette scenes?
Not in this episode, or across these episodes that I can think of. But for me, that AIDS burger, that did it.
Okay, that was it. Okay,
that gave me some bravery. Like, okay, and I thought I'm not already brave, but like, okay, you know what? What will Lafayette do? Let me not do that today.
WWLD, huh?
But what will Lafayette do? What will Lafayette do?
Okay,
that's gonna be my mantra for the week.
I got you.
What will Lafayette say? That might keep me employed. More so say than do. And slippery slope. But
all right. So today we're going to be covering 3 episodes of True Blood, episodes 5, 6, and 7. The first episode is titled "Sparks Fly Out." At the beginning of the episode, Suki and Bill fight about the officer. So in the previous episode, basically an officer stopped them, and now Bill took Suki home, and so she's upset. She's upset with what Bill did with the police officer, and she's basically telling Bill that she wants him to be safe. He says he'll call on her. He won't call on her again. And Sam was lurking as a dog. Any general thoughts about that particular scene?
So for me, Jason's not the only dumb stackhouse. Suki is stupid too.
She has her moments.
She definitely has her moments. We love Suki. Let me be clear. We do love Suki. Suki does get on our nerves though. Like at the end of the day, at the beginning of the day, Suki, this is an apex predator. Why do you get so upset with Bill for him being who he is? Mm-hmm. I think you had some romanticized view of who Bill was supposed to be, but Bill didn't hide who he was. Bill was honest, so you got upset. You got your little pennies all in a bunch, and he got all proper. I'm not going to call on you. I love to call on you anymore, but he still opened the door for her. Mm-hmm. Like, why are you trying to put me in a box, Suki? Look, I can be a gentleman, I can be all of these things, but when you're through, I'm still a vampire. I'm still a vampire. I didn't tell you that I was denouncing my vampire shit. I said I was trying to mainstream. I never said I was trying to change who I was.
This was the thing for me. This was the thing I didn't understand. He didn't kill the police officer. Anything short of killing the police officer to me is fair game if you're a vampire. You know what I'm saying? If he has the ability to do it and get away with that particular... Oh, never mind the fact that when they first got pulled over, she said, let me do the talking, right? So she was talking and it wasn't working. So Bill had to jump in. What you want? You eventually want to get home, right? Unhurt. And that's what he gave you. Hell yeah.
What exactly did you think was going to happen here, Suki? You know, I think Bill handled himself quite well. To me, Bill dropped his nuts. And he still kept it cute all at the same time. Because he did not drain him of all his blood. He did not kill him. He didn't do any of that. Mostly what he did was have a conversation. Now, you didn't like the way the conversation went. And that's on you. But was there any bloodshed?
No, none.
Did I get you home safely?
Yes.
Open your car door when we arrived at your residence.
Check.
Okay. So what's the problem here? What are we talking about?
Foolishness. White girl foolishness. That's all it was.
So, Suki, no. No, girl. No. That's what I say. The snack house is, as far as brains go.
So the next morning, Grams is excited about Bill addressing the town. Suki tells her about their fight the previous night. She thinks Suki shouldn't be so scared or hate Bill. Now, this was something, okay, so I saw that particular episode, and as the seasons went on, in the back of my mind, so clearly Grams knew what Suki was all along because her husband had similar gifts. So I wondered whether or not she knew what Suki would eventually become in terms of the relationship with Bill. I wondered about that. I don't know if you'd ever given that any thought.
I have not, but at mention, it makes sense. Which I hate how Grams went out, but I think there is probably some truth to what you're saying, and I think that Grams felt like, okay, Bill is one of the few people that could actually probably handle a relationship with her granddaughter because of what she is and what she's capable of. So, and then I think her, her judge of character was probably just good. Like, okay, Bill is not an awful
that type of vampire, yeah.
Yeah, he's got a good aura about him. So I think Grams was kind of spot on. Like, okay, this is what my grandbaby needs.
And so the next scene, Sam asks Suki to go hear Bill talk. Now, this is the thing. I don't know about you, but if I know that the chick that I like is wrestling between me and some other dude, I am not going to put her in a situation where she's going to be around that other dude.
To me, and it's going to be funny because Sam is always shapeshifting into it all, but Sam wants to piss on his spot. Right, and make it very clear.
Mark his territory.
Right, marking his territory. For me, Sam is kind of a simp. But at the same time, you're not squeaky clean, Sam, because you busting down Tara. So I think Sam is just searching for something, something that he can hold on to, something that he thinks is real or whatever. But you're not squeaky clean. You're not. You're not, because you are quote unquote in love with Suki. For the first chance you get, you sniffing up Tara draws. Not impressed, Sam. I'm not.
The best friend. The best friend.
The sister. This is basically this girl's sister. It is. So, Sam, no. Move around, Sam. Move around.
Also at Merlotte's, Bellefleur asked Suki about Tara and Jason. And Suki's response, probably like, just a natural response. But at the same time, if a police officer is asking you about your brother who was just in jail, you would be a little circumspect about how you respond. You know what I'm saying?
Again, the sack house, stupid gene. You're not thinking. You are not. Suki is an idiot on a lot of occasions. When she comes to try to make it better in that same scene a little bit later. But why are you talking at all? Just be quiet. See how much he knows. So she's reading.
That might be a Virgo trait. Just stand in the cut. Just wait. I want to see what you're gonna say.
Right.
Just determine how I respond. Yeah.
Use as few words as possible. Let me see what you know. And I'll take it from there.
All right. So now they're at the church. Hoyt's mom tries to take down the cross because she doesn't want him to sizzle up like fatback bacon.
And to me, that was so hilarious because it's like, how often do we do things, as a reaction when you don't know what the heck is going on? So she's just doing stuff. And Bill later is like, most of the myths or whatever vampires created.
Yeah.
Just keep ourselves safe. So, we came up with this. A cross is not going to do nothing for me. Neither is holy water. It's just water.
You know what I did like about that scene? It was a little later, right? Once Bill comes out, now, of course, Bill is hearing everything. Like, he's hearing all of these conversations. But when he comes out, he does two things. One was he uncovered the cross, and the second thing that he did was they had already, and Tara's eyes went wide, super wide, when they started messing with the Confederate flag. I ain't gonna lie, even when I saw it, I was like, Like, for real, you really gonna put this on the show?
Yeah.
But what Bill did was he came out and he also he unwrapped the American flag. That was saying a lot about his particular character. I don't know if you picked up on that.
No, I did. So like before we address that I'm a vampire here in your town and all of these things, let me be really clear that let me hang Old Glory up first. This is important. I am an American. Let me start with that. I'm not really tripping off this Confederate flag and all of that. Let me hang Old Glory up and be clear that I serve this country. This is what's important to me, that, you know, we're not going to use this to cover up a cross that's clearly not going to make it burst into flames. But let's hang it up in the front where it belongs. I dare not put myself before this. So I thought, you know, that was a good hook. You know, it kind of softened them a bit and let them see his humanity.
And me, the viewer.
Yes.
To be quite honest, me, the viewer, because I felt some kind of way about that flag.
Yes. Lord.
Anyway, we're jumping around just a little bit, but Jason shows up at the church, high on V.
Hi. So speaking of our great friend Lafayette, yeah, let's bring it back. The reason he shows up high on V is because Lafayette went to check on him. He went to check on him, you know, and see how he was doing. And as opposed to letting an apology be an apology because of our great friend Lafayette, you're not gonna act like I sold you a bad product. Let me show you how you do this, and I'm gonna give you the training wheels with me right here. I'm gonna walk you through it. And Jason is like, I'm not doing that. I'm not messing with it again. Okay, wait, how you do it? And I'm sitting there watching like, this fool really about to do it again. Like,
you know what? I love that scene on a different level because it was slightly erotic. Just tinging on it, just like I'm gonna dab it right here and then pull back, dab, pull back.
Right, the scene, the tone, the fact that he had the little blood laid out on these little, almost like a communion wafer. You know what I'm saying? You know, like, hey, oh, this one. Wow.
Love it.
You know,
love it.
So Jason is sitting up here doing V with Lafayette after Lafayette came to simply apologize and check on him. No, that's what Tara said. I came here to show you how to use it because clearly you don't know what you're doing. You need training wheels. Let me show you. And let me have a deeper conversation with you about how this goes. So I love it. And he does. He definitely shows up to the church blitzed. Okay. Sparks are starting to fly out already before the other little crazy girl comes into play. In the next couple episodes or what have you. But what I find interesting is it's like, okay, he sits next to Tara. Or whatever, and he ends up like saying like, "Hey, basically, I know that you're in love with me. I'm in love with you too," and all these other things. And she's like, you know, as time goes on, basically, come see me when you're sober. Oh, but what does our Mrs. Stackhouse do?
On the ground next to trash. Fucking trash.
Doing trash, being trash. I was amused and also very offended and upset with him. He's like, he ain't never.
No, he said, come join us. He said, come join us. This is beautiful. I'm sorry, what'd you say? I can't hear you.
Never stop. No, I agree with you. Never stop. Come join us. He is busting down this chick in the alley behind the trash can, just tearing the trash on him. I love it. Absolutely love it. Like, oh my goodness, because you know, and I respect our girl because she is so in love with Jason. She is. So rather than her immediately jump on, okay, somebody loves me back. Let me just go in full throttle and give my heart away because she's guarded, because so many things have happened to her, even though she loves and respects Jason, even with you. Hold on. Let me see if you feel the same way when you're sober. And sure enough, he does the most awful, disgusting, disrespectful thing in front of her because he had
the worst possible thing ever. And no remorse.
No.
Doesn't even bring it up ever again. Ever.
You know, so I'm like, oh my God, poor Tara. Everybody lets her down except Lafayette. You know, it's just like, oh my God.
So we got Hoyt. Hoyt is interested in True Blood. He wants to drink True Blood. We saw a scene of him thinking about it at the church, and then later when they're back at Merlotte's, he orders True Blood. Yeah, he did. He orders True Blood. But this was after the same chick, the same chick.
What'd
you say?
I call her bust down.
Bust down. Yeah. She propositions him, but when she sees that he drinks the V, she's like, I ain't had it.
Not the V, but the True Blood.
The True Blood. There we go. Yeah.
She's like, I like Hoyt. Later on, you know, he's a poor innocent fool. But I like his character. He's just, you know, he's sweet.
So then we got a flashback scene of basically Bill's origin story and how he became a vampire.
Oh, yes. It makes you empathize with Bill because it was like, dang, like, okay, you really were trying to be
a gentleman.
Yeah. You know, and you walked into a trap like no other. And so, you know, later on when the character,
in your opinion, would it have been best for him to have been killed, because that's what she would have done if he had sex with her, or be turned into a vampire? In other words, in her mind, she was rewarding him because he was being so honorable. But she turned him into a vampire. Would he have wanted to be a vampire? Do you think he wanted to be a vampire?
Just based on the things that I saw, I don't think Bill would have wanted that, because in his frontal lobe is always his family. And now that you've done this to him, he can't go back to his family. He can't do any of those things. So you didn't give him a gift. You cursed him.
And then taunts him.
Oh, she's awful. When we see more of her, I'm like, oh my goodness, I would want to call her hands out too. Oh, she's absolutely terrible. So it's like, oh my goodness, poor Bill.
But I mean, that is the world of vampires. You know what I'm saying? Think about Louis from Louis' perspective. His makeup was awful. Loved him, but his makeup was awful.
His makeup was awful for doing that to him. So, it goes on and on. But in that episode of Bill's origin story, it just makes you think about history. Like, dang, during wartime, the quartering of soldiers, like, just imagine how awful that must have been for people.
Yeah, and in his case, he got separated from the other troops, but he was starving. Like, a lot of those soldiers were starving. Yeah. And I'm kind of glad that they brought that up, because it's a reality of war during the Civil War. People were starving, so that was real and that was honest, and I appreciated that.
I'm on the other end. I'm going dark. Like, you do have those other people, because I know that you're bound to let me in, taking advantage, just like what old girl was saying. Like, you're taking such liberties with me that you probably shouldn't be. I'm trying to give you a place to stay, a meal, but you came for a little bit more than that. Like, this is not part of the deal.
Now, I don't know if it was the previous episode or a later, I don't remember, but the police were questioning Bill, and Bill basically said, hey, look, the murderers could not have been a vampire, because a vampire would not be able to overcome the desire to want to suck their blood. And so when Bill walked in, he was bleeding. She was able to overcome that desire. And so was Bill lying, or was she just that powerful?
I think she had been around for a while, and the bloodlust for me with her did not supersede the long game. You know what I'm saying? There's something more that she wanted. And even in a moment, if she wanted to have sex with you and then drain you, like, just a little blood is not going to be enough to stop me from what ultimately I want to do to you, because I'm a psychopath. Because she's crazy.
Very
crazy.
Very crazy. And so after Malat's, Sookie comes home, and what does she find?
Oh my. So she finds her poor grand murdered in their home. So I was like, oh my goodness, what a way to end this episode. And also, like, who killed Graham? Like, who would do this?
Why? Like, that's like, she's so out of the, first of all, she's a B character. You know what I'm saying? She's not one that you're thinking about. And then boom, she comes home, and the love of her life, her best friend, her grandmother, her mother, all of these things rolled in one, is dead. And there's a possibility that it's because of you.
Yeah.
That's a lot for a person to deal with.
Like, at this point, it's like you just feel kind of bad for Sookie. More so than for Jason initially. You made me think about Sookie, especially than her.
You know what I did watching it a second time, all these years later? I always thought Sookie was the eldest sibling. I didn't realize that Jason was the eldest sibling. Yeah. And I guess because he was just so stupid that I just didn't think. Like, how could you be? If you're the eldest, you're generally not that naive or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, and he is definitely the epitome of a box of rocks.
So now we get into our second episode, which is titled Cold Ground. This is episode 6. So Bill shows up soon after Sookie finds her grandmother. Sam was right behind him. And so, of course, Sam sees the blood on Sookie, and his first question is, what happened? What do you think is going through Sam's mind?
Sam is just looking for a reason to run Bill out of town or kill him. So everything is Bill's fault. Never mind the fact that you're rolling around in people's beds and doing weird stuff and running around naked and doing all kind of crazy stuff. Bill is a problem. So you are a new vampire in town. Whatever it is, I am certain that you have something to do with it.
Never mind. We didn't talk about it. We kind of skipped over it, but he took her out on a date. At the end of the date, he attempts to kiss her. Sookie is just basically like, it's too soon, yeah, all that other good stuff. And so I don't know. I just don't think Sam is smooth enough for Sookie.
He's not smooth enough for anyone. Even with Tara, it's just a happenstance. You're available. I'm available. Let's do it. There's no romance. There's no
courtship.
Look at our brains. There's no courtship. There's none of that. It's just an opportunity. So no, Sam is not a smooth operator. Don't get me wrong, he's not an unattractive guy. Not by far.
No, he's not. I will say this. There was a time where, like, Sam, he was my guy. Like, to me, Jason was just oversexed. He's a hoe. Definitely was never Bill. But Sam was like an everyday kind of guy. You know what I'm saying? So I was like,
yeah, business owner. Sensible.
Yeah.
So he was responsible. Not feeling Bill at all. Not at all. And then you have something that I want. I don't know why she has these affections for you, but I don't like it.
But she said something like, "You waited until a vampire comes in town before you made a move. Like you should have made your move a long time ago. You could have had this."
And that's fair. That is fair of her to say that. It is. So, oh well, Sam. Here's to you. Stop dragging your freaking feet.
Okay.
Let me listen to you.
So at a certain point, the police are questioning whoever they're questioning. No. They're looking at her grandmother. And so Sam asks her to go outside. They go outside. They talk. He messes up again. And so she basically says, get Bill. He goes to get Bill, right? So there's a conversation. Bill basically says, "Look, you're not safe here." The police are telling her she's not safe there. She says, "No, I'm not safe anywhere. I might as well stay here." And so the three of them, no, Suki basically says, "I don't need to go anywhere. I got the two of you." She's the player. She's the player.
Look, okay, like I'm good. Y'all gonna look out for me, so whatever. But that was kind of humble of Sam. I don't love this, but because you asked for him, I'm gonna go get him over there.
I don't know. Like at that particular point in time, I was thinking Sam was a bitch.
I said humble.
Nah, because I wouldn't have done it.
You did play him like that though. She did.
I wouldn't have done. I mean, yes, I would have offered my place. You can stay in my place. I'll whatever. But nah, I'm not gonna be second fiddle to this man. I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, but I still hold to. I think Sam was probably more infatuated with Suki than anything, as opposed to truly being in love with her. Because how could you sleep with her best friend more than once, and then even offer like, "Hey, let's try this out for real"? I don't know. I don't know if you truly in love like that.
Or just respectful, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just respect what is. You don't need to come in and bust up the dynamic between them. Just it's just, I don't know. So the next day, everyone is at Suki's house, trying to pay their respect. And of course, we kind of talked about this. Suki gets mad. They go upstairs, all that good stuff. He meaning Lafayette, gives her a Valium.
Look, she's like, "Oh, I don't do drugs," because Lafayette he came prepared. Oh, it's not drugs, just Valium.
It's pharmaceutical, baby. It's pharmaceutical. You get this at drugstore.
Right. Yeah, you keep this, you hold on to this, and if you decide you need it, then you take it.
In walks Jason.
Whew.
What happens?
So Jason is the last to know, basically, of what has happened with their grandmother. So he comes in, guns blazing, and slaps the taste out of Suki's mouth. And in any other instance, I probably would have been okay with it. This was not the time. I'm serious. Sometimes
why any other instance? Tell me.
Because it's Suki, and she repeatedly, notoriously, perpetually does stupid shit. So there were many occasions where come here, Suki. But this was the time, Jason. It wasn't the time.
No.
And you had been on V, and at this point, probably going through your V withdrawals and develop a little habit, which they get into a little bit later, and you tripping.
So Tara gets everybody to leave, and of course, Jason is walking out, and Belfleur starts questioning him. He gets mad because basically Belfleur is insinuating that he could have killed his own grandmother, and he pushes Belfleur into the truck.
Yes, hyped up on that V.
To wit, Lafayette responds.
Wait, what Lafayette? Oh, like you on that V. You tripping. You trying to get me exposed. You tripping.
Jason, he's so stupid.
Yeah,
so stupid.
Now, who does that? If you weren't in a small town, boy, you would have been in the chair for that. You are tripping. In fact, if you had looked like me, you would have been killed on the spot.
Okay, and you're right about that.
But because you look like you and you're in a small town, you got away with assaulting an officer. I'm like, but clearly, Jason has developed a problem. He is hooked on V, and he needs it as fast as he possibly can. But
so they bury Grams at the gravesite. She meaning Suki is about to give the eulogy. Odd place. I don't know anyway, I'm gonna leave that alone. But I've never seen it happen at the burial site. But we just gonna go with it. So she is hearing everyone's real thoughts, and I'm not gonna lie, she held it in for a long time.
She did good. She did really good because it would have been came out. I would have stood up.
I mean, they called her everything but Satan.
And she flashes out and cusses him out and storms off, and then let him out.
So her eulogy was nice. It wasn't so much about her. It was about, Grams and how nice Grams was. But Tara let her have it afterwards.
Let it make out up there and thank Adele for taking care of her baby. It was beautiful. I agree with you. But I can see how Tara felt.
How dare you?
Really?
What she call it? White business. What she call? She called Grams. She called her some kind of white bitch. Evil white bitch. Is that what she said?
That sounds about right.
White devil bitch.
But she
White devil bitch. That's what she said. You used to call her a white devil bitch.
took care of my baby when I couldn't. And so that set the stage for the things to come as it pertains to Tara's mom and her demon. Or demon, singular. But yeah, I'm like, oh God. It gets real interesting, real voodoo-ish in this episode or episodes.
So, okay. So this is towards the end of this particular episode. So Sookie goes to bed. She wants to be alone. She's alone, and of course, there's a scene with Sam and Tara, and neither one of them want to be alone. I'm going to assume that the two of them had sex. They never showed anything, but I'm going to assume that's what happened. But in the middle of the night, Sookie wakes up, and she just starts running towards Bill, and Bill starts running towards her. I mean, I don't know. They could have kept that scene.
Look, well, they needed to have them consummate sooner or later. And is this where she gets bitten for the first time by him? Yeah.
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, I guess they needed to make it happen, but for all of that build up, yeah, I agree. It could have been better. Then your nocturnal emissions and waking up and like, oh,
did you say nocturnal emissions?
Get this cold dead flesh inside of me.
And then, of course, Jason has sex with a divorcee again.
Oh, good grief!
This boy is like he won't stop. He like Energizer Bunny Rabbit. He just stops.
Jason again, the Stackhouse stupid gene, because he does that, and then we forget that he invites the uncle to the funeral that molested Sookie. But to be fair, I don't think he didn't know. So you thinking you're doing a good thing, and you all excited, want to be praised, sir? You don't know what you're talking about. It's just like you do a host of stupid things, whilst hooked on V.
And I'll be honest, I don't know if I ever remember seeing that episode when Sookie did that flashback of her uncle. I don't know if I ever remembered it, or it was just so short of a time, or not that important to the story, the overall story. But I'd forgotten about that, right? And so I don't think I knew that her great uncle at least thought about molesting her. And I often wonder, since I've seen it, would he have ever gone through with it eventually had she not told her grandmother?
I don't doubt that he would have. It was just so creepy and basically, to use the term, like grooming her, and I feel like he would have continued to up the ante had he not been stopped. If given the opportunity, I absolutely think he would have.
And so now I wonder, how did he get in the wheelchair? I wonder. I mean, because the grandmother didn't seem to be too afraid of supernaturals.
True. That's true. But he got his reckoning. From old Father Bill.
Speaking of Bill shows Sookie where he sleeps. When Sookie comes home, she finds Jason stealing from Graham.
Tweaking on that V. He got it real bad at this point.
2 days. 2 days. Already stealing.
Addictive personality. Like, Jason, wait, you work. What?
Barely. I mean, how many times did you see that boy working?
True, but half of this belongs to me, so Jason. Then you take your stupid behind to Fang Banger.
And sees Pam.
My girl. Oh my goodness. If I could get a hall pass. Pam.
She's sexy. That's a sexy woman.
She
oozes sex.
Yes. I just love Pam's character.
You're right. You're nothing like your sister.
Yeah, okay, the queen of clips. Pam.
You want my blood? No. You're nothing like your sister.
I don't want you breathing about me, honestly.
Good luck for coming out. She doesn't think that he'll be able to leave. So anyway, and you mentioned her earlier, while at Fantasia, Jason is asking the bartender, basically in a horrible way, asking the bartender for V. What happens then?
The bartender is funny though, because I feel like you knew what he was trying to say. I'm gonna keep deflecting. What you want? Like some tequila? What do you want? Just tell me what you want, because I'm tired of this. But he runs into this V enthusiast who basically saves his life in that moment, because if you're going about trying to acquire this V, you're gonna get yourself killed. And so my girl from the original Mean Girls movie.
Oh, she was?
Yeah, she was the one that played Janice.
I tell you, I watch movies one time and that's it. I don't go back.
Oh yes, this is my girl from Mean Girls. So she basically saves his life and it's like, hey, I know what you want. I got it right here. Chill out before you get yourself killed and stop talking, because they have supreme hearing. So, oh my goodness, he gets intertwined with this fool.
But can we say Jason has got to be, even though he gets into the worst scenarios, he has the best luck.
Because he could have been killed on sight that night.
The best luck. He could have been in an electric chair. This is all in season 1, and halfway through season 1.
He should have been gone. Penis exploded off and all kinds of stuff. Just gone. Dickless, jobless, all kinds of stuff. Bliss.
Yes, yes, yes. So 3 vampires step into Merlot's
Malcolm, Diane, and I don't know the other guy's name. The Nest.
skinhead.
They want to
Look
join.
at you. You got their names. I just called 3 vampires.
Well, I know Malcolm was like the leader of the Nest, and then Diane smashed Bill, and the other guy, I don't even know if they mentioned his name. But they basically, it's a setup. They go into Merlot's, cause a scene to kind of snuff Bill out because Bill refuses to join their nest at this time. But they know Bill's affections for humans or his longing to
Sookie.
mainstream.
No, I don't even think they knew that Sookie was there, right?
I don't think so, but they probably knew she worked there. It's a small town, but they knew Bill's longing to mainstream for certain. So they snuff him out perfectly by coming in and causing a scene at that bar. So Bill kind of goes missing in this episode, and Sookie is tweaking.
Missing because he did what? He did something very important. In his mind, probably helping Sookie, but do you recall? He killed her great uncle.
Oh yeah, Bartlett. He dealt with him. Mm-hmm. Got rid of the body. I don't know. Did he even drain his blood? Did he waste time?
We didn't see all. In fact, we didn't even see that he killed him. We just in later episodes we realized it. That's what happened. Anyway, Sookie tries to warn Bill that a mob is going to kill him and the other vampires, thinking that they went to his home. She goes to his home, finds that he's not there. She stays the night. Early the next morning, which was wise on the part of those 3 fools who tried to kill the vampires. They waited till the daylight. Smart on their part, and they burn the house.
Yeah.
But Sookie hears the sirens. She follows the sirens. She goes. She finds out that there were 4 coffins, 4 dead vampires. And at that point, that's her understanding that Bill is probably dead.
It's like Sookie's been going through it, like not a lot loss, but did they cover it in 7? I don't want to say with Bill.
What'd you say? That covered was 7.
Did they cover it in episode 7 with Bill actually being okay, or was it 8?
Oh, episode 8. Episode 8. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then another part of the episode, Belfleur and Terry are fishing.
I love Terry.
Terry becomes important later in the series.
When I tell you, I love Terry. I absolutely do. Like he's just like he's shell shocked and crazy, but he's smart.
Mm-hmm.
He's got this sweet, soft side to him. Like you just cannot help but love Terry. But
besides Terry and Lafayette, not Terry. Besides Tara and Lafayette, he's the smartest one.
You know what I did not appreciate? I did not appreciate how Sam handled Terry. I don't like what he did.
Terry.
Well, because you remember Sam was like running naked through the woods, and Terry saw him, and he played on Terry's, PTSD, and I didn't appreciate that. That made me look at Sam real different.
Well, okay, so I understand what he did. I didn't care for it either, but I understood why he did it. He doesn't want people to know that he can turn into a dog. Like, who would want people to know that they turn into a dog?
And I understood it as well, but I still didn't appreciate it because Terry has been through enough. Like you really hallucinating.
You putting that man through too much.
Huh?
Putting that man through too much additional stress.
Just dodge the conversation altogether. Don't do that to him because he already batshit crazy. Like and he was one of the only people that stood up to the vampires.
The only person.
Yeah, other than Sookie in her mouth. Mm-hmm. But I like Terry. I really, really like Terry.
Mm-hmm. Stand-up guy. Well, thank you all so very much for joining us. We have recapped episodes 5, 6, and 7. Stay tuned for how many episodes are in the season? Was it 12?
I don't know. I feel like I thought it was. Oh, you're right. It's 12.
We're gonna cover 8, 9, and 10. 8, 9, and 10.
Let's do it.
Next time. Until next time. See you all. Have a good one. Bye.